This is Rogers TV.
Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. We have a fabulous show going on today. Yes, I got a marshmallow. I am going to be roasting this marshmallow as I'm talking to Christy from Scugog Fire and also Mayor Wilma Watton from the Township of Scugog. So we're going to be talking about campfire safety. We're going to be talking about fireworks safety, how to put your campfires away properly, and also some tips to keep you and your family safe in your home. It's going to be a fabulous show, so make sure you keep on watching. And I might even save a marshmallow for you. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I did it.
I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Hi there, I'm Eric Marchand, host of Cinema Scene in Review. Join me each month as I recap all of the newest films in theaters and at home. See you in review.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have with me over here, we have Christy, who's with Community Outreach with Scugog Fire, and we also have Mayor Wilma Watton, who is with who's the mayor of Scugog. It was, did I say that okay?
You said my name perfectly.
I just really emphasize Watton.
That's
I was,
okay.
yeah. I know people can say it differently, so I was determined to get it right.
I'll give you a 10 out of 10 on that.
Whoop, whoop. All right, so we have a number of topics that we're going to do during this show, and the first one we're going to talk about is campfire safety. So we have a lovely campfire here that you guys not only know how to put out fires, you know how to build a good fire.
Yes, absolutely. I have to give credit to our fire prevention officer who is behind the scenes helping us out, so we'll see him more at the end of the show.
Yeah, Ethan.
Yes, and he
Thank
helps
you to
light
Ethan.
the fire, so he doesn't just prevent fires, he lights them too.
Yeah, little bit of a pyro. Oh, wait, no, just
Only
kidding.
safe
Only,
campfires.
okay.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to talk about is if you're planning on building a fire, we first need to think about the location. So what went into picking this location? What do people at home need to think about before they're going to start a fire?
Perfect first question. So we have to consider the requirements of the local municipality. So here in Scugog, it's a little bit different than for viewers in Uxbridge, Kawartha Lakes, or elsewhere in the area. And our step one is to obtain a burn permit. So we did obtain a permit for our fire today. We ensured that we're meeting all of the required setbacks, which again will vary, but there's a minimum setback you must meet. And we have our fire nice and contained in the pit, so you could have a fire pit ring or like rocks encircling the fire. We've selected clean, dry wood to burn. We're not burning any garbage or debris, which could cause an environmental hazard or burn uncontrollably. So those are kind of the number one things to keep in mind. And,
Okay.
and we'll get into more even towards the end of the show too about our safety.
Okay, excellent. Mayor Watton, do you have a question for Christy here?
I would say some of the questions we receive, one of the main ones is how does one actually, and this pertains to Scugog, but how does one actually go about getting a permit?
So here in Scugog, it's an online process. So people can visit www.scugog.ca/fire, and there's a burn permit tab. And they go through, they select the appropriate information for the type of fire that they would like to have. My eyes are watering from the smoke. And they then can be automatically approved and pay online to get their permit immediately, unless it's something like an oversized fire that a farmer would be having. That might require a site visit by our fire prevention officer to ensure they're complying with the provisions, because it's a bigger fire, it has greater rules. But recreational and general permits can be applied for online.
Okay, great. And I know, sorry, I was just going to say, so the last time I applied for a permit in Uxbridge, now this was a while ago, I needed to go right to the fire department. So even that might have changed. So you really need to check with the individual municipality. Absolutely. And even the rules as to how far away the pit needs to be from your house, your fence, your neighbor, that can be different with each municipality as well.
Absolutely. And if you cannot use the computer, or you're not comfortable using the computer, you don't have one, you can come visit us at the fire hall, 30 Crandall Street for us in Port Perry, and our lovely administrative assistants or another member of our staff will do the permit application with you.
Okay, excellent. Wilma, did you have another question for Christy?
Well, I think Christy covered it, because
Okay.
I was going to ask, what if you're not computer savvy?
Oh, beautiful. Wow, we got some telepathy going on, like just boom, boom. Okay.
I have one other question, though.
Okay.
How, I believe there's a cost for that, and I'm sure it's different within each municipality. But if they come in, do we accept all forms of payment?
So when they come into the fire station, we can take cash or check. Whereas if they apply online at home, they can enter their card details. Okay. So that's here in Scugog. And again, back to whatever municipality, you'll have to ask that question.
Okay. Okay, excellent. So when you're getting a fire ready, what are some other things you should have on hand?
So we should have, which we have just off camera, a fire extinguisher or another way of putting out the fire at the end of the night. And some people will have a shovel or dirt to pile on the fire as well. And just making sure if children are in attendance at your fire or pets, you're meeting safe setbacks and clearances to make sure that nobody's going to be injured as well.
Okay, so, and if you don't have a fire extinguisher having one or more buckets of water,
and ideally, maybe your garden hose will reach the area.
Oh, too. Amazing. Yes. As opposed to peeing on it. Because I have seen that happen.
That's not a fire service recommendation.
It's not? No. You don't have that?
No.
It's hard to measure.
It depends how much water you drank in the day as to whether that's going to be appropriate. Okay. Okay, so we're building the fire. We're making sure we have good wood. We're making sure we're a safe distance away. We have everything that we need to put out the fire. So when we get back, well, actually near the end of the show, we're going to talk about also safely, we'll give a demonstration putting out the fire, and we're going to come back and talk about fireworks safety. So we'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. Stick around.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wadok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have Christy from Scugog Fire, who's with Community Outreach, and I have Mayor Wilma Watton of Scugog. And in this segment, we're going to be talking about fireworks. So Canada Day, we got all those days. I'm not even going to hurt myself thinking about all the wonderful days for fireworks, but we need to be safe if we're going to be doing fireworks. Mayor Watton, do you have a key question that you want to ask Christy in regards to fireworks?
From a fire department perspective, I would just ask, what is the most important tip that you could give with respect to fireworks? I mean, lots of people do home fireworks. We have event fireworks. But I'm sure there are many safety tips that you could share.
So the fire department always recommends attending professional fireworks displays. And I'm crying from the fire again. And so,
touching subject.
Yes. So we say leave it to the professionals if you can. So attend the township organized events where they've hired like a pyrotechnic person to fire, as we say, the display. And they have all kinds of safety provisions in place. So often they're, like in Port Perry as an example, they are shooting really far away from where the crowd is located. They shoot them out over the lake. There's no chance they're coming down in a field, that type of thing. But we understand that people like to have fun on their own properties as well. So if you choose to use consumer fireworks, follow the manufacturer's recommendations and safety precautions. There are some regulations located within the township's business and licensing bylaw as well regarding fireworks, when and where they can be sold, as well as where they can be set off. So we always advise people to contact bylaw services to ask about those specific rules, and be respectful of your friends, your neighbors, and the community. So we have noise bylaws in place as well within the township, and if you have a big crowd of people on any given weekend having a fireworks show, you might make some people angry. So again, comes back to that mutual respect for your surroundings, and again, safety. If you're an amateur setting off those fireworks in your backyard, do you have proper provisions in place? You always see the bad YouTube videos of people holding the firework out and lighting it off, and or people getting hurt. And so we just don't want to see that happening here in the township or in our neighboring municipalities.
Do you need to have a permit to do fireworks?
So the fireworks displays permit is required and approved through a pretty extensive process with our fire prevention officer, and others in the township become aware of it. And for consumer fireworks, there's not a permit requirement. However, you do have to meet those setbacks and manufacturer's recommendations, or bylaw will get involved.
Okay, all right. So those are all really good questions to have. Do you get any questions brought up at council meetings in regards to fireworks?
Well, recently, over the last 2 or 3 months, we've been receiving emails with concern about the environment and fireworks. And you know, to Christy's point, I think she sort of addressed it, that if you use professional pyros or whatever they're called, that they take all those things into consideration. But what about, you know, the concern about pets? Like, I've heard many people say, well, it frightens the dog, it frightens the deer, but have we really had any feedback or sense of that from what we do, even just in Scugog?
I'd say to that, it comes back again to the respect thing, and at least we provide advance notice of the fact that we're having a show. You know, hopefully people know about it, and on specific dates they're kind of expecting it, so they're putting their pets away. And at a higher level, I'm sure there are environmental type groups and the fireworks groups who are doing studies, and in the township we always follow best practices and keep the best interests of everybody in mind, so we will continue to do so. And over the years, you know, in my career, that might reshape how we approach the professional fireworks shows. And again, with the consumer ones, comes back to respecting your neighbors.
Now, we might not be able to finish this topic before we go to break. I understand that, so this is not the fireworks topic anymore. We're going on to potted plants.
Yes.
And how this can be a hazard.
Yes, so this is another concern in the summertime. And just very quick on that topic would be ensure smokers smoke outside and discard of cigarette butts in proper ashtrays or butt-out containers, not in dried-out potted plants. And even without smokers on your property, keep anything with peat moss in it and mulch, keep that watered. So your gardens, your potted plants, because you never know what might spark a fire, and all of those items can burn very, very easily. So there's been huge campaigns over the years. One was called Don't Be a Flicking Idiot, as if you're flicking your cigarette butt into a potted plant. So don't do that. Follow the recommendations, and hopefully we can all have a safe summer.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to have some more safety tips, keeping you and your family and your community safe during these summer festivities. We'll be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have Christy from Scugog Fire, and I have Mayor Watton of the Township of Scugog. We've been talking about campfire safety. We've been talking about fireworks, also not butting out your cigarettes in potted plants because they can start fires. And now we're going to talk about how to keep your family safe. So at the end of the show, we're going to go over how to put out a fire safely. But before that, at the end of the night, when you go to bed, you want to make sure that you are prepared for whatever could happen. So, Christy, what are some important things? You want to talk about CO2 alarms, correct?
CO, carbon monoxide
okay.
alarms. Yes. Yeah. And so at a minimum, a carbon monoxide alarm is required outside of all sleeping areas in your home if you have a fuel burning appliance, a fireplace, or an attached garage. So if you have sources of carbon monoxide, then you require that alarm. And it will alert you to carbon monoxide that we can't see, smell, or taste. So if the presence of that gas is in your home, you would have flu-like symptoms without a fever. So people may feel nauseous, headache, dizzy, vomiting, no fever, and it can catch up with you very quickly depending on how much gas is there and make you very, very sick. So when the CO alarm goes off, we tell people to evacuate their home, call 911, and wait for us to arrive and try to locate the source. In addition to the carbon monoxide alarms, a smoke alarm is required at a minimum on every level of your home and outside of all sleeping areas. But in the newer building codes, they're in every sleeping room. And these days we have combination smoke CO alarms, alarms with built-in battery backup. The battery never needs to be replaced. There's all kinds of new technology to help keep us safe, and I always tell people we want the newest technology with our cell phones, our laptops, our TVs, and we should want the same thing with our smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, so they can sense that smoke or that carbon monoxide just that much quicker and alert you to get out of the house. And so when the alarm alerts, it's really important that everybody in your home knows what to do. So have a prepared and practiced home escape plan, and practice it with everybody. You have guests coming to visit over the summer. Make sure they've reviewed that home escape plan. They know where you're going to meet outside. And when you call 911, make sure nobody goes back inside to look for pets or toys or anything like that, because the fire department will come and take care of those things.
Okay. Okay, excellent. So if you have bedrooms on an upper floor, do you also recommend getting the rope ladders or chain ladders or things like that to make sure you can get downstairs safely should the fire be going up the stairs?
So those are not a requirement, but would definitely be a recommendation. And when you make a home escape plan, prepare for 2 ways out of every room. So that might be the door and the window. And in my case, growing up, my window was up high. So that was something that we discussed having until I moved bedrooms. To one that was closer to the ground, but that was definitely a discussion. That was an optional kind of additional safety feature that we could have had. Something I teach young children as well is we're not going to hear that smoke alarm and run to the window and jump out, right? So they're going to use their best judgment, feel the back of the door for heat, get low and go is a kind of a standard thing we say, so they crawl low under the smoke. But if they're in immediate danger and the fire is coming into their room, breaching their closed bedroom door, that's the only time someone would need to jump out the window during a fire.
Okay.
So hopefully that doesn't need to happen.
Mayor Watton, do you know of, I'm just going to throw it out there, and you can go wherever you want with this. So, like, do you specifically have any questions about fire safety plans? Do you have a fire safety plan yourself that you wanted to discuss, or have you heard of any members in your community that have had a tragic fire because they haven't had a safety plan?
Well, we have had a tragic fire just yesterday, but I wouldn't be able to speak if they had a fire safety plan.
Okay.
I think it had to do with propane tanks in a shed, but it engulfed their home. So,
wow.
I think one can never be too cautious, do everything you can to be prepared. I mean, to Christy's point, I live in a 2-story home, and my grandparents' house burnt in when I was 14. And since that time, we have always had a way to break the window. We have always had ropes to be able to get out of the building, and so on. So, but I did have one quick question with the CO and the fire. Do they expire?
Yes, absolutely. So your smoke and CO alarms are only good for 10 years from the activation date. And so all of them, they must be replaced after 10 years, even if they have that lifelong battery or they're hardwired.
Excellent. Well, I think it's time for someone to have this marshmallow.
I think it goes to Christy.
Christy, were you
crying the whole show. Now I got marshmallow.
She can be happy with her marshmallow.
Before I have to say anything else.
Yeah, just get it in there. You know what? We're going to be back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life. We're going to have Ethan from the fire department to come and show us how to safely put out this fire using a fire extinguisher. So stick around. We'll be right back with more. How is it?
It's really good.
Good.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
I'm Rob MacArthur, host and producer of Helping Durham Region. Join me as we shine a spotlight on how Durham Region residents help each other. That's Helping Durham Region right here on Rogers TV.
Hello, I'm Judy Tate, host and producer of At the Heart of Business. Join me each week as we speak with women in business about their challenges and their successes. At the Heart of Business right here on Rogers TV Durham.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I'm with Christy from the Scugog Fire, Mayor Wilma Watton from the municipality of Scugog, and we've been talking about campfire safety, fireworks, CO alarms, all that fun stuff. And to wrap up the show, we're gonna get your assistant,
my colleague.
Your colleague, not Vanna, her colleague Ethan, to come and show us how to safely put out a fire. So Christy, I'm gonna let you do the talk through.
Absolutely. So our fire prevention officer, Ethan, has a water-based fire extinguisher. So at the end of the night, end of your fire, we recommend you put it out. Lots of water. Some people will use dirt to turn over the coals, like dump on the coals, turn it all over, cool it down. So whatever your method is, you just have to make sure that fire's fully out and there's no risk of extension or a rekindle in the middle of the night. And again, we're going back to bed in our home with our working smoke alarms and home escape plan, and we want to sleep soundly and know that we're safe. So Ethan's going to come in with our water-based extinguisher, and he's going to remember the acronym PASS. So that stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So he's pulled the pin, he's going to aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, he's going to squeeze, and you sweep back and forth on that fire and put it out. It gets nice and smoky, and good thing it's blowing the other way.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Ethan, you're doing a fabulous job there. So he's really saturating the wood just to make sure there's nothing that is gonna light again.
Absolutely, and as soon as we wrap up, we will take those logs apart, and we wouldn't just leave those in there all night to keep smoldering.
Oh, okay. But don't put them on the grass, because the grass
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So move them to the side of the pit just so they're not on top of any remaining hot coals.
Okay. And then when you are, I just want to go back for a moment, when you are actually deciding where you're going to locate this fire, you should never have it under like tree boughs.
Exactly.
And stuff, right?
Yes.
Because when you get that jet rocket sometimes of
yes.
going up. Okay.
Yes. So we chose this nice open yard.
Beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much. Ethan, thank you for giving that beautiful demonstration. Thank you for your knowledge. And Mayor, it was wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank you for the invite.
So we'll be back with more next week. Keep on watching Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Long way from Nashville and Mama, I'll tell you that. Performed from Montreal to Boston to Los Angeles. But Toronto, that's my chosen home. Sure, when I'm walking down Yonge Street, I see some funny people who have the nerve to point the finger at me. Grin and smile and whisper. My song was #2 on local radio. Sold 10,000 in Toronto alone. Turned down Ed Sullivan because they asked me to remove my makeup. Wouldn't do American Bandstand because of their segregation policies. I was just being me. Never tried to explain myself to anyone.